Namaskar students, on the behalf of the School of Media and Communication Studies, myself Dr. Harish Kumar, Program Chair of the Programs and Course Coordinator of this subject, is heartily welcoming you all. And in this process of learning, today we are going to learn about meaning and elements of mass communication. And if you are able to learn these things, definitely you will be able to make your own strategy related with mass media. So now let us understand about the objective of this particular course. The course is designed and introduced to provide a glimpse of understanding of meaning and different elements of mass communication. If we are able to know what is mass communication, then definitely it will help us, and on the basis of it we can also get some valuable input about different elements of mass communication. So whenever you are going to make any strategy related to mass media or being a professional, it will always help you to make your own strategy, and apart from it, you can just get a proper recognition from the society. So let us understand about mass communication. Actually, we are having a lot of confusion about what is mass communication and how mass communication is different from other kinds of communication. We think that communication is a part of mass communication. Mass communication is broader than communication. But actually what is happening, that as far as mass communication is concerned, it is just a type of communication. So we should not forget that there are different types of communication, and in different types of communication, mass communication is just a type of communication. But why we call it mass communication? We should know that as far as the simplest definition of mass communication is concerned, it is public communication transmitted electronically or mechanically. In this way, masses are transmitted or sent to large, perhaps millions or billions of people spread across the world. So we found that mass communication is just a kind of public communication, and it is possible because we are going to transmit the masses either electronically or mechanically. It means without taking the help of any technology, we cannot spread the masses to the largest section of the society. So let's take the example like when you want that you should disseminate the information to the largest section of the society. So what you do? Either you are going to take the help of television, or you are going to take the help of print media like magazines, newspapers are there. You can also go for online media. You can write a blog, you can prepare or make your own YouTube channel. YouTube channels could be a kind of a platform that you can utilize. Apart from it, you can also take the help of any website through which you are going to transmit the masses. Nowadays it is possible for us to use different kinds of social media that we have. So ultimately what we are going to do, we are taking the help of any technology. So basically what we are going to do, we are going to send the information electronically or mechanically. It means there is a kind of mechanism, and this particular mechanism is involved in this particular process. So apart from it, the other kinds of things which are involved in this definition is it is sent to large, perhaps millions or billions of people spread across the world. So you'll find that we are going to send the information to the largest section of the society. The society might be spreading across the world. The society that is highly heterogeneous in nature. Their liking, disliking, each and everything differ from one another. And one of the most important thing is that within a second, within a minute, we can spread the information to the largest section of the society. So ultimately, we call mass communication as technology assisted communication also. So dear students, let us put more light on the concept of mass communication, or we should understand the meaning of mass communication. Actually, it's just kind of communication from one person, group or institution through a transmission system or medium to large audience or markets. So basically you'll find even one person is going to convey the information to the largest section of the society with the help of the transmission system. There is a possibility of a particular media through which the particular person is trying to disseminate the information. Apart from it, you'll find that even a particular group can also just make a particular communication strategy, and it could reach to the larger section of the audience. Apart from it, you'll find that there are different kinds of companies which are working in the market. So different competitors are aware about their strategy because of mass communication. Mass communication also provides a platform to different companies who are going to make different marketing strategies, or whenever they want to penetrate any particular kind of product in a market, or they are going to explore the market. So mass communication is very helpful for them because in this way they can reduce the cost of disseminating the information. Apart from it, you'll find that in mass communication there is a concept of from one to many. It means one particular person is working like the sender, and there might be different kinds of receivers at the same time. There might be millions or billions of receivers. We are aware about different celebrities. They are having their own fan followings because they are going to disseminate the masses. The sender is one, but the receivers are many. You might be having your own ideological or ideal person. You might be liking a celebrity, you might be liking a leader, you might be liking any other person because you have made a particular kind of impression on the basis of the masses that you are getting from different kinds of media. So you'll find that there is a kind of possibility that one particular person can disseminate the information to millions or billions of the people at the same time. But you'll find that in mass communication, basically what we are going to do in mass communication, earlier it was happening that mass communication was possible only through television, radio, newspaper, or magazine. But after the invention of internet-based technologies, nowadays each and every person is having a freedom to get the information as per the need of the individual. Earlier, the media was just trying to filter the kind of information which was just generated for common person. There were different kinds of person like reporters, editors, and apart from it there are possibility in which different administrators were also just trying to filter the information because they were having the fear that this particular kind of information is going to degrade the image of a particular person or a body. So you'll find that there was a system of controlled masses designed. It means the masses was controlled. Actually, the actual thing was not being disseminated to the audience. There was some filtration, and especially in different media houses there was a kind of habit in which they used to put emphasis more on a particular kind of news or information. At the same time, if the information was not suitable for them, then they used to just they just used to filter, or they used to hide the fact or information. But nowadays there is another kind of tool or platform of mass media or mass communication, and this one is internet based medium, because internet based medium has provided a platform which is more democratic in nature, and you'll find that as far as the filtration of information is concerned, the filtration of information is less as far as new media is concerned. Apart from it, you'll find that mass communication is basically, it implies concept of effectiveness and efficiency, because the masses is going to create a kind of intended kind of objective, because it is possible for you to just disseminate the information to the largest section of the society, so you can provide the masses in a very efficient manner according to need of the audience. And in this way you'll also be able to achieve your objective. Suppose you just transmitted a message for the purpose of motivation, you transmitted a message for the purpose of social social welfare, you transmitted a message only for information, that you are going to provide a kind of information which can bring change in society. So mass communication is very helpful for you, because you can provide the things in different manner, you can use different kinds of media in this regard, and in this particular manner you can ensure the impact of the communication. And apart from it, there is a kind of concept that in mass communication we are getting some delayed feedback, we are getting some delayed response. But nowadays, because of new media, different mainstream media houses are also just trying to get some sorts of feedback from the audience. And I think that it is going to change the whole mechanism of mass media and mass communication. So dear students, now let us discuss about growth of mass communication. As we told you earlier that communication is a basic need of each and every individual. The way you are going to present yourself, the way you are going to express yourself, the way you are going to receive the information, the way you are going to make a query, for each and everything you need some sort of communication. After a certain time, you also believe that more and more persons should be involved in the process of communication. You want that your information should be disseminated to the largest section of the society, because they should also be aware about the facts. They should also be educated. They should also be make aware about different kinds of happenings, and in this regard mass media is playing a major role. So you'll find that the invention of paper and printing and later newspapers were the first steps towards mass communication. But it was only through the telegraph invented by Samuel F.B. Morse in 1835 that masses could be sent to long distances using a code. Actually, the next step was to send masses through human voice. Alexander Graham Bell in 1876 succeeded in using voice to send the human voice across the distance. However, it was the invention of the radio by Marconi in 1901 which made sending of a human voice over long distance possible. In 1947, the invention of the transistor made radio the most popular medium for sending voice messages. Today, as we all are aware that television, which can send voice as well as pictures, is found almost everywhere, and this was invented by John Blair in 1920. And especially you'll find that as far as India is concerned, India also used this mass media tool as a tool of development, as a tool of the development of the country. And we should not forget that Radio also played a major role. Apart from it, print media also played a major role in freedom fighting. So we can say that in this way, the journey of mass communication was continued. Actually, the term mass communication may be considered as a 20th century development. Sending messages to a large number of people and at greater speed was what man was always looking for. We wanted that there should be a mechanism through which we can disseminate the information without taking too much time. Apart from it, it was not possible for human being to convey the same message to different person one by one because we are having our own limitation. Suppose if you are getting a chance to communicate something to 100, 200 or 300 person, you'll find that it is difficult task for you to communicate the same message to all these 300 person. But with the help of mass media, with the help of mass communication, you can easily get the things done. There was a time when men or horseback traveled long distances to convey news about, say, a war. Even peasants were used as postmen to deliver messages. So there were time in which different emperors they used pigeon as a messenger. Apart from it, there were different kings, and they just tried to make different kinds of image on mountains, and you'll find that even different kinds of stones and stone arts were also developed in this regard because of this particular journey. We find that nowadays different person are just like a king. You are having the alternative. You are having a lot of freedom as far as expression is concerned. You are able to know what is happening in the world. At the same time, you are aware. At the same time, we are also aware about different kinds of issues which are going to affect the world or which are going to affect any part of the world. So nowadays, as we know, that there are solid reasons behind the growth of mass communication. As I was telling you about the journey of mass communication, and I told you that how we started communicating. We started communicating, and in this regard, pigeons were also used. Stone art was also used. Even you'll find that in old civilizations, basically they used to write on bhojpatra. They used to write on leaves, and thereafter print media came into existence, and after it radio and television. But you know the main invention, the main development in this particular area is arrival of computers, and arrival of computers have changed the world of communication because it has provided us a kind of interactive technology or interactive platform where the sender and receiver both can interact. The receiver can be working like a sender, and sender could also be working like a receiver. So the whole process of digitization has changed the world of communication, and nowadays we are living in the era which is being called as information based society. So we should not forget that internet has changed the overall setup of mass communication because nowadays, because of it, we are having less restrictions. It has provided a base for freedom of information. The information can be disseminated in different manner at the same time. The same information could be presented in different way, and the way the receivers are just trying to get the kind of information. Suppose as a receiver, I want the information in textual format. So that kind of thing could be presented in that manner. If the receiver wants the information in the form of video or animated characters. So nowadays we are having the capability, and nowadays we are having the talent also. With minimum cost, we are just trying to provide maximum output. So it is also being used as a tool of transactional media. We are just paying a little bit, or we are paying on the basis of bit, you can say, on the basis of internet speed, or how much internet speed you are getting. Accordingly you are going to pay amount for this. So you'll find that nowadays there are different kinds of issues which are becoming very important, and there's a concept of piracy. The same information is being used by different person at the same time, and the kind of things which are taking place as far as downloading is concerned, or swiping of the information or content is concerned. So basically, why mass communication is being, becoming a very popular tool nowadays, because internet has changed the whole setup of the old media structure. The old media structure in which we were having less freedom as far as individual consumers or individual audience or individual viewers are concerned. But nowadays, each and every individual is being empowered. Each and everyone is having the capability to just be a part of, be a part of, be a part of person, be a part of change maker, and be a part of policy maker, and be a part of entrepreneur. Even if the particular person is having a capability to change the mindset of others, the vision, the way you want to present yourself. So nowadays you can use internet as one of the most effective tool through which you can disseminate the information to larger section of the society, because most of the information or content are free in nature. So now we are going to discuss about elements of mass communication, because these elements are very important for us. And even in the process of communication, you have heard about most of the things. That the source or sender of the masses in mass communication mostly represents the organization, channel, publisher, production houses, where the content is prepared. Actually, you'll find that in these kinds of media channels, different people are working together, because it's a kind of group work which is going to just produce some content. Let's take the example of television. In a television program, you'll find that there are different graphic artists, there are editors, there are reporters, there are news anchors. Apart from it, you'll find that there are different researchers. So it's a combined effort through which they are just trying to produce the content. So as far as source is concerned, a group of people can also be a source. A channel could be also one of the source. So the source or the sender belongs to a professional media institution, or it is in media or communication. So there's a particular media which is going to represent as a source of the information. The source creates carried content depending on the nature of the channel or channels the media houses wishes to use to transmit the masses. As I told you earlier, that each and every media houses are having some policy matters, because on the basis of policy they used to publish the kind of things or broadcast the kind of thing, and if the information is not meeting out the policy, then they are also going to just filter the kind of information. And in this way we can say that the source is very important for us in mass communication. If the source is authentic, the content is authentic, there is a kind of credibility, then definitely the audience are going to pay proper attention on that. Let's take the example. Right now we are having different news channels, and each and every news channels are just trying to provide the kind of information. These news channels are just making a claim that we are just going to produce the things which are being you know which are being liked by the audience. But generally it happens that in the name of audience, basically the channels are just propagating their own ideology. They are just trying to provide the information in their own way, and that is why sometimes we find that there are the kinds of programs which are promoting superstitious things. Apart from it, we find that the news are being presented in a very sensational manner. Sometimes it happens that there is not been any research. Sometimes because each and every channels are in hurry to provide breaking news, and that's why they're going to take care about the credibility of the content. So ultimately, if the source is going to lose its credibility, so ultimately it is going to affect the image of the media house. So that's why the way source is going to design a message is very important, and in this regard credibility also matters a lot. So as far as elements of mass communication is concerned, the next element is masses. A message in mass communication could be any content created by the source which needs to be produced or reproduced or transmitted through the media. The masses can be a pep talk, an interview, a news debate, a news report, a TV serial, a movie, a documentary, a song, an advertisement, a story, in case of a book, or film songs on a radio. So in case of newspapers, the masses is in a report or in the form of an article or in the form of preacher. So masses is actually designed keeping in view the kind of media or the medium. If the particular medium is supporting written or textual content, then we are going to provide the things in that particular manner. If the content is just provided in audio form like radio, in radio we are going to provide the content in audio format. Nobody is able to see our face, nobody is going to see the text. Only through our voice, only through the sound, we are going to create a kind of impression. So accordingly, we have to design a message in mass communication. In television, we can provide the masses with a combination of audio and video element. And in this regard, we are having the liberty to use animation, graphics, sound, and in this regard different characters could also be used. So masses should be as per the need of the audience. At the same time, we should also identify the media which is being used by the receiver, the media which is being penetrated properly to that area, the media with which they are familiar, the media which is having less cost for the audience. So accordingly we have to design the masses but we should not forget that masses is one of the most important thing through which we can create a kind of impression in mass communication. And that's why we should follow the path of clarity, credibility, and at the same time we should be competent enough to just decide about the kind of masses which we are going to provide to the largest section of the society. We should decide that what would be the impact of this particular masses. Sometimes it happens that a kind of mass is not good for the society, but it is being decided uh, for the purpose of welfare only. There should not be any hidden agenda. There should not be any biasness, and on the basis of it, we have to provide the masses. So in the same continuation, the next element is channel. The term channel in the case are the tools used to disseminate the information as a tool of mass communication. Hence, we can say that channels in mass communication indicate mass media. Traditional mass media like radio, television, newspaper, books, brochures spread the masses with the enormous speed far and wide. Today, new media has revolutionized the speed in which a masses can be sent across boundaries of not just villages or states, but it can be sent to different countries at the same time. So you'll find that nowadays what is happening? Nowadays we are finding that there is a convergence of different technologies. Like in traditional way, we are just just playing audio in radio. Nowadays you can find out different websites in which the RJ is having a post in which RJ is just trying to disseminate the information, and at the same time video is also being run. So different kinds of media are being mixed together. So whenever we are going to disseminate in information, we should know about the channel which we are going to use. Which channel is suitable for us? Which channel is good for the receiver? Which channel is having less cost? Which channel is having more impact? So all the things should be considered. Like we are going to make a particular strategy for villages. So we should not forget that for village area, which kind of channel is appropriate for us. Or we should not forget the demographical profile of the individual. Demographical profile includes income or social status, or apart from it, in any society, you'll find that there are the people who can use new technologies in a very effective manner because they are having the access. But there are the people who don't have the access of these new technologies. So we are going to make any strategy, and in this regard the concept of channel is very important, because channel can decide about the impact of your own communication. So as far as different elements of mass communication is concerned, there are the concept of receivers also, because receivers are the person actually who are going to receive your masses, or who are going to be a part of mass communication. So mass communication is the transmission of the masses to a large number of recipients. This mass of receivers are often called as mass audience. The mass audience is large, heterogeneous, and anonymous in nature. They are having a lot of differences as far as ideology is concerned. The way they are living, their psyche is different, analytical power is different, the way in which they lead their life is quite different. The receivers are scattered across a given village or state or country. They are scattered at different places at the same time. The receiver decodes the encoded content based on his or her psycho, social, and cultural background. It depends on their taste or capability or interpretation. So these things are very important because each and every receiver is not able to perceive this message in the same manner because there are different factors and these factors are affecting the masses. Someone can like the kind of information that the person is getting from the media or mass media. Someone could not be, could not be happy with the kind of message or information because it is not suitable for them. Suppose a particular media has decided to disseminate the information for children. That particular information or communication could not be suitable for the old age people, but that group of people are also just getting the content. The same thing happens that there might be any content which is for the old or elder people only, but that information is also being you know accessed by children or the people who are at their teen level. So it's very difficult for us, especially in mass communication, to to differentiate as far as information is concerned. The same information is being disseminated to all the people who are highly different. So that's why it's a kind of challenge also for us. And there are different cultural factors also which is going to play a major role. Suppose you are going to provide information which is not being appreciated by a particular group of people who are having some particular culture. So that's why you should be very careful. You should just try to take the help of the particular language which is being properly denoted by these kinds of audience. You should use the kind of sign or symbols which are being effectively understood by these group of people. So dear students, there are different kinds of discussion about next element because earlier the concept of feedback was missing because in mass communication we were not getting instant feedback. But as we know that in communication feedback is one of the most important thing because on the basis of feedback we used to ensure about the impact of the communication. If the feedback is proper, it means the people are you know just liking your communication, or they are just concentrating or paying a proper attention on your own communication. So in mass communication earlier there was some problem because it was not possible to get instant feedback with the largest section of the society. There was not any particular mechanism also. But nowadays, because of online media or new media, different mass media are also just trying to get a kind of feedback. They are also putting their email IDs, they are also putting their Twitter account, they are also giving phone numbers or WhatsApp number. Apart from it, even on online platform or social media platform, you can also put your own opinion. So on the basis of feedback in mass communication can be, it could be one way or two way, depending on the choice of media. So you'll find, as far as mass communication is concerned, in mass communication, if we are going to use these online or new media as an effective tool, then definitely we are going to improve the quality of the mass communication. So due to this new technology, right now it is possible to get feedback. You might have heard that in different radio stations there are kind of programs in which the people are going to call you, or even there is a concept of citizen reporter in which the people are being involved, or even you might be knowing that on different websites the people are also just writing, they are writing, and at the same time social media, on social media platform also different people are reacting. So we can just know the exact need of the audience, what is being liked by the audience, what is the need of these audience. So on the basis of it, if we are going to provide the masses, or we are going to redraft the thing, or we are going to change something in this particular manner, we can basically move further. So feedback is one of the important tool. Earlier, it was missing as far as different mass media is concerned. But nowadays, because of new invention and new technology, we can have feedback from the audience. But as far as interpersonal communication is concerned, in interpersonal communication, we are basically getting more and more instant feedback. So dear students, today we discussed about the concept of mass communication. At the same time, we discussed about different elements of mass communication. So on the basis of it, we can say that as far as mass communication is concerned, mass communication is not possible without taking the help of any technology. So the involvement of technology is essential in mass communication. In mass communication, it is possible for us that within a second, we can disseminate the information to the largest section of the society. That is why we can save our time, we can save our energy, we can also save our money. Because if one particular individual is going to disseminate the information to different person, it would require a lot of expenses, because it is beyond your capacity, or it's beyond your capability. Apart from it, it also provide more and more freedom to disseminate the information to different countries at the same time, and we can just avoid any kind of geographical boundary as well, because geographical boundary is not going to restrict the flow of information. So it's a kind of opportunity for us. And nowadays the whole world is being connected because we are having mass communication or mass media. And that's why nowadays we are called that global media is actually playing a major role, and it is going to affect the lifestyle of each and every individual. In the process of exchange of information, we are going to learn something, we are going to adopt something, we are going to change our habit, we are going to change our own perception. So if there is a proper kind of information, if there is a kind of information which is going to create a healthy environment, or it is going to create the world in which there is not any disparity, so definitely if we are going to use mass communication in a proper manner, so definitely we can get the things done. So that's why being a media person, media students, it's our own responsibility to identify the element which are being used as one of the effective tool of mass communication. And each and everything is important, whether it is source, whether it is channel, whether it is masses, or whether it is receiver is concerned. If we are not going to take each and everything in a proper manner, we would be creating a kind of noise or barrier for all the receivers. And that's why being professional is our own responsibility to come with new idea, and to select the appropriate medium for the receiver, to ensure the credibility of the content, and at the same time in the process of communication we are also to involve the receivers, because if we are going to provide the information in a one way, then definitely we are not going to engage the consumer base or the base of audience. So, dear students, today we are going to ask a simple question, and the question is you all are supposed to identify the feedback system of different mass media channel like radio, television, newspaper, or for any website. So it depends on you, because these inputs will be very essential for us, and these things will just enrich your knowledge towards different feedback mechanism. So dear students, in the process of learning, if you feel that you need more information, then you can visit these websites. Apart from it, you can also refer the books mentioned here. So dear students, thank you very much for watching this video. If you are having any query or any information that you want to provide us, you're most welcome. And in this regard, I have mentioned here my mobile number. Apart from it, you can also send these things on my email ID. My email ID is harish.kumar@galgotiasuniversity.edu.in. And at last, I would like to tell you that please be happy and just try to change the whole world with quality education. Thank you all.